Hey guys, welcome to the Headsick Podcast. My name's Chris Torian, and I'm your host. Today we've got Chris Torian on the podcast. Great friend of mine, great bass player, all around super creative guy. And I'm supposed to meet him somewhere around here. I don't know why he asked me to come out here, but hello?
Oh, hey,
there he is. What's up?
how we doing?
Chris Torian.
Hey.
Here you go.
Thanks for stopping by.
How you doing, dude?
Pretty good, man. Welcome aboard.
This is your boat?
Yeah, welcome. This is the Salt Shaker, a
It's called the Salt
1993
Shaker.
Catalina 22.
Nice.
We're out here on Percy Priest.
What's your official captain name?
Captain Chris.
Captain.
Our Captain Crunch. We can go with that too.
Captain
yeah,
Crunch.
that works.
Nice. How big is this boat?
22 feet.
Yeah?
Big enough.
Yeah? Does that include the motor, or is that just
No, that's a little extra, man.
a little extra?
Yeah. That puts us at 23.
But I feel like that's
Give or
bigger,
take.
that's bigger than a foot.
Yeah, give or take, you know.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
she's
dude.
pretty. She's seaworthy.
Yeah? Can you give us a tour?
Yeah, welcome aboard, man. Here's the got the cockpit here.
This is what you call the cockpit?
This is the
let's,
cockpit.
let's get some boat terms.
We've got this would be the helm right here. You've got the
So for those who aren't watching, we're on a sailboat. It's 40 degrees, probably. What, 35?
it's warming up, dude.
It's
Let's see what we
warming
got. Let's see. It's
not
it's
too bad.
45. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's a nice day out here.
Cool. So
We got
anyway.
the cockpit here. Here's your hand tiller. No steering wheel in this small of a boat here.
Okay.
And then yeah, come on inside, man. It's a little bit of a mess
What's
here.
the front of the boat?
The front of the boat would be the bow.
The bow.
Yeah. We got the bow. Got the stern back here.
Nice.
And we've got the cabin in here, which is kind of full of,
Can I
stuff
step on
right
this
now.
cooler?
But yeah, hop on in, man. Make
Okay.
yourself at home.
All right.
It's where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens. Ow. Sick.
Do you want me to join you down here?
Into.
Oh, my bad, dude. Excuse me.
You're just like.
Yes.
You're just like.
I thought it was a quick tour. Yeah, this is nice and cozy, dude.
Oh yeah, this is cool.
This is where it's at.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Oh.
How long have you had this boat?
About a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
It's great, dude. I love it.
Is it a lot of work?
It's it could be if you wanted to, fix everything up properly. I could have fixed redone the cushions, but instead I just got some blankets on Amazon.
Right.
But it's a good time, man. You've been out on it.
I like it. I have.
Yeah,
been here.
you've had a good time.
I'm
on
acting
here.
like I haven't been on this boat, but I definitely have. Yeah. Yeah. You got some renters over here.
Yeah, these are my house pets.
A couple cobwebs.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah. That's normal.
There's a handful of spiders that call this boat home.
Yeah.
I've decided to make peace with the spiders.
Can you blame them?
We've got a ceasefire going on right now.
Yeah.
They haven't bitten me, and I've been letting them live.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, very nice.
Yeah.
What's new?
Oh, got a lot going on these days, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's been good to be home, off the road, back in the print shop.
Yeah.
Making a bunch of t-shirts, a bunch of hats.
Nice.
Catching up on laundry,
Nice.
after a long 6 months of calling various other places outside of Nashville home temporarily.
It's weird.
So yeah, it's good to be home. I've been cooking a lot, less gas station food.
Yeah.
No McDonald's since I've been home.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Starbucks.
No Starbucks. No, screw that, dude. No, I got a Chemex at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been brewing up some. Shout out to Blue Hound Brews. Some good coffee made in Nashville.
Plug.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, they're paying me for that one.
Okay.
It's $5 every time I say it.
We'll try to get sponsored. We'll try to get a sponsor. Clay's been on a coffee kick. He said he's been like on an espresso game. He like weighs beans and stuff. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, we had a kind of a talk about that on his little coffee tour, and get him some really good cold brew. So
Where'd you guys go?
went to Bongo Java.
Oh, nice.
The Five Spot. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Best cold brew. Honestly, it's like the smoothest. There's a lot of good cold brews, but that one's pretty good.
Yeah. Good call.
But yeah, it's been weird being back home and kind of getting like the rhythm of everything. You got something like you keep busy with it. So for those of you guys don't know, Chris has a print shop. You call it a print shop, right?
Yeah, print shop, merch company.
Merch company, yeah. basically.
Whatever else. Anything you want made, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, he doesn't just print, he embroiders.
We'll do dog bandanas, we'll do socks, we'll do, you name it. Pretty much anything we can slap a logo onto, you know?
Yeah. Do you do patches?
Yeah, we can do patches. Yeah.
Nice.
We just did some for Meg Maroney for a stage outfit.
Sick. Well, I'm glad everything's going well.
Yeah, man, it's good to be here.
Are you stoked to get back out on the road?
Yeah, I'm back out with Callum, Kerr into this month. We're headed up to Glasgow, playing a pretty big show over there, like 750 people.
Cool.
Almost sold out, so that'll be a cool one.
First time in Scotland, right?
First time in Scotland. I rented a kilt, not for the show.
What do you mean rented?
Yeah, you can rent a kilt. Yeah, rented one, and for his wedding, not for the show.
Okay.
I thought about wearing it for the show.
You're being very specific. He's like, I'm not renting it for the show.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would be cool, but
So it's like renting a tux.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like their tux. I don't know if they do tuxes over there. I'm sure
because a proper kilt like is like around 700 to like $1,000.
At least. I thought about going and just hopping on Facebook Marketplace once I got there, but I also... But
they don't wear underwear, so you know a lot of stuff has been...
I want to make sure it's sanitized properly, taken care of, and, it would have been a gamble. So anyway, I got a nice kilt. I got measured,
Nice.
Yeah, I got a nice... It's got a little, I forget the terminology. It's a little sack.
Bag?
A little sack that comes with it.
Does anything go in the sack?
I'll probably put, like a couple shots
like
of Fireball or something, keep me warm. It's going to be cold over there in Scotland.
You're going to do Fireball in Scotland?
Or whatever they're...
You gotta get a bottle of Glentalic.
Glentalic? What's that? It's like Glenlivet?
It's like I don't know. I really like the way it sounded, so I bought a bottle of it.
You've been to Scotland?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm pretty well versed.
Did you don a kilt or no?
No, but I got a bottle of Glentalic.
All right, I'll look for some.
You can get a little glass one, almost like a, what do you call it? Like, what are the ones that like?
Little shooters.
It's not a shooter. It's like big.
Pints?
It's a pint, I guess.
Yeah.
A pint is it's Scottish whiskey, so
all right.
Some Glentalic. I don't know. You have to have some.
We'll look up some Glentalic.
Yeah.
Excited for that, and then making a little vacation after. We're going to Amsterdam, then Berlin.
It's gonna be so good.
So it'll be a good time. And then back in Nashville for like 4 days, and then hitting the road. Without you, unfortunately, but with Clayton Mullen, we're headed up to California, doing a few dates with Priscilla Block up there.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice, a little escape from the Nashville winter.
You did Dallas House of Blues with us.
No.
Have you done a House of Blues?
I've never done a House of Blues. So first House of Blues shows, we got Anaheim and San Diego.
Dude, that's gonna be sick.
Pretty excited about that. We got some cool theaters too, up in San Luis Obispo, an old like mid-century kind of theater. It'll be cool. And yeah, chilling out on the beach. We got a few days off out in LA, so
sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
I really want to knock out all the House of Blues. So one day.
How many do you have?
I have 2.
Dallas and what? Houston?
I have Dallas and Cleveland.
Cleveland, okay.
Cleveland's pretty sick. It's like small. I don't know. They're all different. Whoever tells you all the House of Blues are the same, they're just...
Well, they're all House of Blues.
Right, but they're not the same. They're not the same, Like, I grew up going to Orlando House of Blues. That's where I met my wife, and it's different, Like Dallas House of Blues, completely different layout.
Have you been to New Orleans?
No.
That's a cool one.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to. I was actually supposed to see Band of Skulls there.
Ooh.
And then, so my buddy Jack and I, we've been trying to see this band for like a long time. I've seen them twice this year. But we bought tickets from New Orleans, and then something happened where like I just couldn't fly out, and so I wasted my plane ticket and the concert ticket.
Dang, dude.
So, but it's okay.
A bummer.
I saw them twice this year, so it's like catching up for it. But I can imagine New Orleans House of Blues has got to be sick with all the voodoo theming. But no, it's really cool. We did Dallas twice. Both times were with Clay. But dude, that's gonna be sick.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And then we are back on the road together, I think, in April.
Yeah, Tyler Braden. So that'll be a lot of fun. I feel like we're hitting some cool venues there too.
Yeah, it's gonna be some nice ones. Yeah, he's great. His crew's great.
It's awesome.
You weren't with us on the last run with him. I don't think so. But,
no.
But yeah, great people. Excited to be back with them.
Yeah, I'm just a ghost now.
That's right. We got you coming back. took a lot of convincing, but you know.
So Chris plays bass. I met Chris through a couple buddies named Ryan and Brock, and they had a duo named Heart Wreckers, and I was paired through that because I had done a one-off teching gig with All Time Low. Their manager had also managed Ryan at the time, I believe, or something.
Yep.
And so then, you know, we paired together, and I guess known each other for a couple years.
It's been 2.5 years now, man. Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah,
that was my like first week in Nashville. I stumbled into sound check, and
we were talking about waves with Clay, how everyone's on their own wave, and Chris kind of like, I wouldn't say you like took off immediately, but you did know some people when you moved here.
I lucked out. Yeah. I mean, through Brock, I met a bunch of people, and you know, had a handful of friends that I'd known that were already living here, and so just kind of, you know, it's like, as opposed to moving to a place where you don't know anyone, I was able to like kind of just show up and have, you know, a handful of like little built-in friend groups, and that made the transition to coming here a lot easier. Yeah. And then, you know, just through music, it's such a cool tool of like developing very personal relationships. I was talking to Clay on Friday. He was asking when the first gig I played with him was, and it was May of this year. And we were just talking about like how crazy it is. Like, we feel like we know each other so well. Yeah. And we've only known each other for 6 months. Right. And part of that is when you're about as close as you and I are now to somebody with over like 2 weeks, almost 24/7, from the van to the hotel to the venue, you really get to know people. And so, I feel like I've known you a lot longer than 2.5 years, you know? Yeah. So it's cool. That's been one of my favorite things about this, because, you know, I wasn't playing music for like 7 years before I moved here. And just the camaraderie that comes with playing in a band, and like the just meeting other musicians and all that. It's such a cool community component of it. Yeah. That's kind of similar to like my story, because I took a break off music after my band broke up, and so we both kind of came off like, I mean, I was playing with like churches and stuff and doing like drum covers, but it wasn't really like, coming into Nashville, I knew like nothing, which, I mean, then you learn like everything, and but I didn't know anybody either, so like it was just, I think it was a bit harder. I mean, I didn't make like friends, and then so if you move to Nashville, it's always good to know somebody. Like, it's always good. I fortunately had my wife with me, so that was good. But it's like, it's already like intimidating. Say you go out on Broadway by yourself and you try to meet people. That's super intimidating. Well, you're also not going to meet the right people, probably. I mean, maybe some of the musicians, but you know. Yeah. So it's, if you're like meeting the patrons on Broadway, you're probably not making friends that live here anyway. Right. So tip number one is to know people. No person. Get to know people. At least know one person that might know another person, whether you're literally like out at bars every single night, or, you know, whatever. Yeah, it's an interesting part of it. Like, I kind of tried that out when I moved here, and I was like, I'm spending way too much time at bars. Yeah. You know, like money. Yeah, I would get a notification on my phone every month from like Rocket Money of what my top expenditure was for the month. And I was living across the street from Red Door, and I've been here 3 or 4 months, and it popped up. Right. Like last month's top expense, Red Door Saloon LLC. And it was a bit of like okay, I should probably, you know, not spend as much time and money there. A little better if you like don't, you know, if you can control and only have like 1 or 2 beers, you know. Right. But, you know, sometimes part of networking is, you know, unfortunately, especially with musicians, is taking, you know, another round of root beer float shots, and you know, you can get a little carried away sometimes. Did you move here solely for music, or did you move here to be with friends first? I didn't really have any intention. So I came out to visit. I was living in California. I came to visit Brock, who I've known since we were kids, and he had been out here for a year or so. He was writing songs with under like Tim McGraw's publishing company. Cool. And so I think it was like my second day in town. He took me over to Tim's office, and we wrote a song, and was Tim there? No, he wasn't. But it was still, I mean, like, you know, all the gold records all over the wall, and just, it was such a cool vibe in there. And I was like, dude, this is so cool. And so a few months later was finally, you know, time to kind of make the move. And so I got an Airbnb here for a month, and then I was just having the time of my life, and I was like, this just feels like, you know, like a place I want to call home. Right. And I think it was the day I signed my apartment lease. I called Brock and I'm like, hey, I just signed a lease. I'm going to be here, for at least a year. And he's like, oh, cool. I was actually about to call you because I'm starting a band and I want you to play bass for it. And that's spiraled into,
right,
all of this now. So it was perfect timing, I think. So it feels a bit fateful,
Right.
And it's been, just a journey ever since, ups and downs. And, there was a time about a year ago where I kind of thought the music stuff was slowing down and I was going to, take a break from it. And it was like, oh, well, that was a cool little, moment in my life where I did that again for a bit. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'm going to go all in and start this print shop. And so I, kind of stopped playing most gigs and just dove into that. And, then sure enough, as soon as the print shop got up and running,
right,
I get a call from you, and then so
pull up somewhere else.
So then it's like, hey, okay, you got a couple of dates here, and I'm like, sweet, that sounds awesome. And then and then about that same time, I get a call from Callum, and he's like, hey,
mm-hmm.
Do you want to come play bass at Whiskey Jam or whatever? And then that night at Whiskey Jam was the first time I played with him. I had 12 hour or hardly a day's notice.
Mm-hmm.
We went and we played. Me and Thomas played with him, and that was the night he got invited to the Opry and all that stuff. So it's just been a whirlwind, and I've been loving it. Just getting to travel around with friends, and have a good time, and it's been stuff that I honestly for a lot of the last 10 years of my life didn't think I'd be doing.
Yeah, no, for real. I think that's another cool thing is when you get to meet people that do take a break off music and think that it is kind of over, or you've reached your mark where you can no longer do this, and it kind of gets proven to you that you can, and it's not really, it's kind of all in your head if you say age is a factor, because it's, you hear a bunch of success stories about older bands, but it's cool to meet more people that get a second chance at doing this.
Right,
because you did, Chris is a great bass player, phenomenal bass player. You played bass in a band before, or when did you start learning bass?
I was a guitar player growing up, and I had a little blues rock band in high school.
Yeah.
We would play at the local Mexican restaurants. I grew up down in Louisiana, so not in Lafayette, so down in Cajun country, not too in the woods, but it wasn't big city or anything.
Right.
So we'd play at the local Mexican joints. We had a pretty sweet deal in high school. We'd make $300 bass pay for the whole band, which we were 17 or whatever.
Right.
And then we'd get tips, and so we'd walk out of there with over $100 a piece, which to us, with limited bills at the time, was pretty nice. And so we were playing these covers and stuff, and then there was 2 guitar players, and we were we really only need one. And so I was the lesser guitar player to my buddy Michael, who was phenomenal. And so I was like, all right, I'll play bass. And so I'd never taken bass lessons or anything, but I just kind of grabbed it and started playing it kind of like a guitar, and picked up a few things I loved Chili Peppers and stuff, so I watched Flea a lot and tried to embody some of that stuff. And not that I use too much of that, I don't. There's no slap bass here in Nashville, Flea. I've had to stop slapping it a little bit, but yeah. So I just kind of started playing a little bit, and then when I moved to LA, I was 22. I was super broke, and I was working at Benihana on Ventura Boulevard.
Yeah. And
I was struggling to pay rent, and so I moved up there with I was in a Toyota Camry. The entire back seat was nothing but guitars. It was stacked up. There was 12 guitars.
Dang.
And I sold all of them but 3, I think, when I got there to pay for rent for the first couple of months. It was a transition phase, it felt like to me at the time, where it was okay, you did the whole music thing. Now it's time to grow up, go get a real job, get a haircut. And so I did that. I still had my guitars in the corner of the room, whatever. I was in LA for 7 years. I would go 6 months without touching a guitar.
Yeah.
I didn't even own a bass. I bought a bass, I think again in 2020. Started playing just a little bit more, and that's, what got me going again. And so it was a big change. I was pretty rusty. I remember my first rehearsal, with Heart Wreckers. Didn't go extremely well. Almost didn't get the gig.
Really?
Fortunately for Brock, kind of sticking up for me, being like, all right, we'll give him one more shot.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I at that point, like, woke up at 5 a.m. every day and practiced for hours and just, locked in and kind of did nothing else. And, it's like riding a bike, I guess, to some extent. Like, a lot of it's just muscle memory that comes back over time. And I just wasn't used to those movements as much. And so it took a little while to, like, get back to it. And now, actually, I ended up taking a few, like, bass and music theory lessons about a year ago for a few weeks, just kind of, sharpen up a few things. And now I'm like, at this point, I've kind of gotten back to how I feel like I was playing when I was younger before I took the break. And, it's nice. It's good to feel, like, confident about it again. The imposter syndrome in this town is a tough thing to avoid, I think. I had some rough gigs when I showed up to town. I had a problem saying no to things, which
you kind of have to do that when you move to town. You gotta kind of just say yes to everything, and then you learn, either who's just, like, bad musically or who's just a bad person. I had a couple too. So
well, it was like, and they weren't because of the artists I was playing with or anything.
Yeah,
it was because of me showing up probably a little underprepared.
Oh yeah.
And I was just learning the Nashville number system. I still didn't really have it down yet at the time, and I would get lost, forget where the 2 was for some reason, or whatever. Like, a 2 or a 6 would, sometimes just throw me off, and I'd get lost, and then it was just, it was a little rough. And I still remember it was, a few months into town, and I went home after a pretty rough, in my opinion too, which, I'm sure most of the people in the crowd, like most of my friends, like, oh, it was fine, like there was 1 or 2 things I heard, but everyone at least was nice to me about it. The artist didn't complain. I didn't get fired, whatever. But I remember going home and thinking, and just, like, staring at the ceiling and being like, I'm going to sell all my guitars tomorrow.
Right.
This
You're like, you want to bury yourself.
Yeah.
Tip number 2 is to learn the Nashville number system. It'll help you a lot. So have friends. Know somebody here, and then learn the number system, because that for those who don't know, it's basically a universal charting system so that you can learn songs without, like, music notation, and it helps a ton because not only do a lot of artists provide charts, but you can learn songs on the fly, like whether it's on a drive or something. Jim Riley has a really good book on it, who is the drummer for Rascal Flatts.
You guys use the number system?
So drummers, actually, we use the number system, but we can only use...
Up to 4, right?
No, we use ones. Just ones. So basically, the numbers correspond to a chord, right?
Right.
And
for me, yeah.
For you. So basically, the numbers also act as, like, a measure of 4. So it's also timing and, like, how long a verse is, or, like, a chorus. So the nice thing about learning it for drummers is you don't really have to learn the numbers, but if you really want to be fancy and you want to be, like, more of, like, a music director and kind of know the chords, and if you want to do that, you can, but you can get away with just using it for ones. You don't even have to write ones. You could write 2s. They don't really have to mean anything to you other than counting, and then you learn all the symbols, whether it's a build, a hold, a diamond. I guess you could put a diamond if you want to, and then you can, like, I think everybody has their own symbols and notation too. Kind of like I definitely add my own little, like, squigglies that mean something,
Yeah.
Like especially for drums, like if I have, like, a hard stop, if it's a build and say everything rings out, I have, like, a symbol for that, but then I can also have something that's just, like, everything gets choked and it's, like, cut off there. So
it's definitely a good skill to have.
Yeah.
Like, I can sight read things now that I probably wouldn't have done as well sight reading other ways.
Already moving to Nashville, you grew a ton, just, like, right off the bat.
Yeah, it's been a trial by fire. Because I never played in, like, professional bands.
Right.
I played in college bands where we'd show up a few beers deep to load in, and we were usually just there because we had a bar tab. And nothing was very professional,
Right.
And then I show up here and it's you got in-ear monitors and cues telling you when to walk on stage, and
click tracks.
And the drummer has a godforsaken talkback microphone and can get in my ear at any time. They didn't see. I had the luxury of not having that when I was in less professional bands.
But it's great.
It's got its moments. But
by the time you joined, we switched over to Ableton. Like I used to have. You weren't with me with a sample pad, right?
Oh no, not the fun cues. I've heard about them.
Oh, dude. So I've got like on my sample pad, I've got Lil Jon sayings, and like Carl Weezer and Jennifer Coolidge, and I used to fire those, and those are a lot of fun.
You need to bring those back. You need to plug those into Ableton, man.
Yeah, I just need to put them like in the song.
Yeah. Put them in the main tracks. Yeah, front of house, dude.
Would you say this year has been the biggest shows you've ever played?
Oh, by far. Yeah. I mean, I think before this, I'd probably only played in front of, a couple hundred of people. Yeah. And like all of a sudden, was it June or so? Was just the Sam Hunt gig the second one you did? No,
it was the third. We did a run out to Redding, California. We actually did like a couple shows over in California, and that was probably like 7,000 people. Right?
Well, I think Billy Currington was the first like huge one.
Billy Currington
in Kansas City. And
KC Live,
that one, that was
that's pretty sick.
That was a big moment for me, and it was really cool. I had my parents and my godmother and her boyfriend. They were all like side stage right there.
Shout out to Chris's godmother.
Marilyn's a sweetheart. And so they were all there side stage, and it was the coolest thing because I could look to my right and see all of you guys, straight ahead, see 5,000 people, but then like half the show I was just smiling at my parents, like trying not to tear up too much, because it was just,
that's cool, man.
They've been at every gig, like when I was a kid. I mean, they would be the only person at a shitty dive bar, on a Tuesday night.
They've been super supportive.
And they'd be there, and so it was a really cool moment, and they're obviously pretty stoked. I mean,
very cool.
They're big country fans, and so they're kind of having the time of their life, following some of these around. They were big Billy Currington fans and Tim McGraw fans, and
did they come out to the Tim ones?
They were on a few, and
I think I recall.
They loved my dad. My dad loved the tour buses. I got to take him back there, and he's like, I think that was his favorite moment. But it's like it's a cool like
special.
Full circle moment, where it's like they were very supportive of me when I was a kid of all this, like. I'm like paying back for the years of guitar lessons and and all that stuff in a way, and so it's cool, man. And that's like, I was honestly on the fence about taking some of these gigs that I'm playing now, because I'm like, how much can I handle? Because I'm in addition to the print shop, still working like a full-time job as well, and so it's like, and I remember talking to my parents, and I'm like, hey, like Chris hit me up about this gig, and like, I mean, it seems really cool, but I'm like, I'm a little stressed because like I don't know if I have time, and I was on the fence. I'm
great.
I had like a 50-50 shot of like, I wasn't sure if I was going to tell you that I was in or not, because I was just like, I don't know if I can, if I have the bandwidth to handle all this. And I remember talking to my parents, and they were just like, well, what are the shows? And I'm like, oh, it's these dates with Billy Currington, these dates with Sam Hunt, and they were like, Chris, you're taking that, and we're coming to the shows. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And so
fortunately, you got more band length than bandwidth,
a lot of band length, dude.
You said you don't know if you have the bandwidth. We're not a very wide band, but we're a long band. So the group we were talking about, Heartwreckers, got the opportunity to open for Tim McGraw last year, and what started as what everyone thought was a full band show, eventually we got more details, and it just ended up just getting stripped down more and more. I thought like it came down to where it was like, oh, it's only gonna be 4 of us, and then I was like, okay, so that's basically 2 people out. And then I thought I was gonna have a stripped down kit. My stripped down kit went to Cajon, and then Chris went from bassist to basically tour manager / videographer
which was I mean, it's still a fun experience.
It was incredible.
For me,
honestly, if anybody needs a tour manager, when Chris ever wants to tour manage, I'm not throwing him out there. He was a great tour manager, and he got some really good footage too. It was sick. I mean, I'm still like very stoked that I got to experience all that with you, because that was, I mean, we played the largest arena in the United States, so that was really cool. I mean, granted, I was standing up kicking a box, but it was still really sick.
Yeah, it was like the whole experience. I mean, and I had never done anything remotely close to that. You know, I was 6 months into living in Nashville, and all of a sudden, like, you know, I'm like, oh wow, I'm like even though I'm not on stage every night, I'm like on an arena tour right now, and that was you know,
pretty wild.
That was like, oh, this is my life now kind of thing, which was a wild, you know, I had like a little bit of existential crises in my, you know, first year or so in town. It's like, what is happening to me right now? Like, it was hard for me to like comprehend certain things that like, and honestly, and like in a weird way too, I hadn't been, you know, I hadn't been like striving for necessarily. They just kind of started happening, and it's honestly continued to kind of be that way, where it's like I've stumbled into a lot of things, which I'm grateful for. You know, there's a little bit of Eastern philosophy there, you know, if you follow Taoism, little wu wei there.
You're like a big old snowball rolling down the hill.
Yeah, and you know, some things are good, some things are bad, but yeah, either way, it's still going. And so
Tim McGraw's stuff was truly insane. And Tim's awesome. He actually like came out and like would hang out with us backstage. And
great dude. He smells phenomenal.
Smells phenomenal. But it's like I don't want to smell like him because I don't want to.
I don't know if you can, and I don't think it's. I honestly have a theory that it's not a cologne or anything. It's just a natural pheromone. He's just blessed from God in so many ways. Dude. Yeah. It's
he's ripped. I'm sure a lot of people know that. Very lean. He's got a strong grip and a pheromone. It's a whole experience. Yeah, so it was a great tour. I had a great time. The last date, I drank entirely too much whiskey, and Chris didn't take care of me. You know,
we had a really good run. It was a good time, and it was just such a learning experience to see how a production of that size and scale like operates. There's so many little moving parts and so much structure, you know, which is nice.
It's insane.
And yeah, it's cool to see that, you know, how professional it is, and even all of the you know, other musicians and stuff. I mean, they're all just operating on such a professional level,
right? As
opposed to just like hanging out, getting drunk, and you know, it's like it's a bunch of people that are there. They're showing up to the office and they're doing their job. You know,
there's a lot of working parts.
Well, yeah.
It was very weird. Like, it was very insane doing that whole thing, but it's also very like where you're talking about like imposter syndrome. Like, it felt like I didn't play an arena. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't playing drums.
Right.
But like, so I would tell people like, oh yeah, I'm opening for Tim McGraw, like playing, and then I'm like, oh, but I'm not playing. You know what I mean? And it's like a short set. Be like, did I really do it? It's kind of like playing Cajon at the Ryman, and not really like playing the Ryman.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's, I don't know. You're still playing a percussive instrument at the Ryman. You know, I mean, if you're still on stage and playing a song, I mean, you know, it's
right.
But yeah, but it's not your dream scenario of like this, of walking out to a full kit and
right.
To rock out,
but at the same time, like it is a dream, because I would, like you were saying, like I never thought I would be here. You know, even like you're doing your role, like it's still insane, and the percentage of people that like don't get to do anything like that is so big. And that's another thing. Like, moving to Nashville, you meet so many people that are doing the same thing as you, and then you know a bunch of people that aren't even doing what you're doing. For example, like playing the Opry. So like Chris and I both had like our Opry debut this year, which is insane. Like, it's such a big moment, but then I swear, like weekly, there's a bunch of people I follow are having their Opry debut.
Oh yeah.
So it almost it's like, is it a big deal? But it is a big deal. But is it? Because you could know this guy and he's played it like 5 times, you know? And it's like you played it once and you like really want to celebrate the big win, you know, because it means like a ton to you, but at the same time, it seems like such a normal thing when you know other people that do it as well. So it's just really strange.
I think in general, like living here, so like when I lived out in California, I wasn't really in the music scene much, and like I didn't have a ton of friends that were like solely musicians. A handful that were like, you know, independently making a living in the music industry. But not really doing like anything that I particularly wanted to do. But then when I moved here, it's like I've met so many people that music is like, they don't really have a day job necessarily. Like they're just musicians, you know, and like they can make a living doing music, which, I mean, like for me, that's such a fulfilling life, even if you're not being the next Tim McGraw or, you know, huge artist, household name, whatever. Like getting to see real people that I know that are making a living, getting to do this really cool thing that only, you know, so few people in the world get to do. When you see other people doing it, it's like the first guy that ran the like 5-minute mile, you know, and then like within the next year, like 50 people did it, right? It's like, because they saw it was possible, and like mentally they're like, oh, I can do that. And so like, with me seeing friends of mine doing these things, I'm like, oh, I can do that. Like, and you know, I think if you don't have that confidence of thinking that, I can go do that, then you're not gonna be able to go do that. And so sometimes that confidence is overconfident, but you know, and you got to kind of like maybe fake it till you make it, you know. But I mean, like that has given me so much encouragement to just be like, you know, maybe not anyone can do this, but like almost, you know, like if you really like focus on it and really work on it. And you know, I'm fortunate that like, you know, I spent my like 10,000 hours learning an instrument when I was a kid, and so it's like, you know, I haven't had to like buckle down. It's not like I've been learning from scratch since I've been here. You know, I've been like picking up where I left off, kind of. But yeah, it's just like, you know, seeing all these other people, I'm like, oh yeah, like this is possible, you know, and so yeah, it's very refreshing to see that.
It is, yeah. It's just like, I don't know if you've done this too, but like there have been times, and I look at it, I'm like, why would I ever even do this? But like I've belittled my success sometimes solely off of like being in this town. I just see some people in this town that have really big gigs, and I could go say play the Today Show, you know, metaphorically.
Right.
But then I like see people that play the Today Show and they're just like, And I'm like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like the first time for them, and I'm freaking out, you know, and that's weird. And I feel like, oh, should I not be freaking out? You know, like, what was your reaction like at the Opry?
I was a little freaked out.
Were your parents there?
Yeah, they were there, which was super cool. They were, you know, got to come backstage and all that stuff, which was amazing. But I mean, no, I was a little freaked out. Like, and not in a mildly like nervous way of just like the you know, what a crazy venue it is and all that. Like, I'd never been before. I'd never even looked it up until like 2 nights before. And I was like, I should see what this place looks like. I had no clue. I knew nothing about the Grand Ole Opry. And I didn't so I like
that's fine. I mean, I didn't know much about it. I knew what it looked like, but I didn't.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll be surprised a little bit, you know. Like, I'd never done the tour, never been to a show there. I didn't really know any of the history of anything. And so I go on YouTube 2 nights before, and I'm like laying in bed, it's kind of late, and I just, you know, look up Grand Ole Opry, and it's Zach Top, pretty recent performance. And
Zach Top.
Yeah, he's another up and coming guy. When you see guys like him, it's like, oh, anyone can play. But no, it's so I see his like debut or whatever, and I see the scale of the stage, like not even the audience, but like just the whole background thing behind you, and I'm like, oh damn, this is pretty massive, you know.
Yeah.
And I got freaked out. I think I got out of bed and just like walked in circles around my apartment for a few minutes. I'm like, okay, you can do this, you know. And then the next night, the night before, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch a few more like debut videos, just get pumped up. And the first one I caught on was Post Malone, who had recently had his debut, and he's talking about how this is the most intimidating venue he's ever played, and he's never been so nervous in his life, even though he's played in front of like 80,000 people a night, you know. Yeah. And that didn't help at all. But what I did, which actually I think this is a good tip for musicians that are nervous about a gig. Because I mean, like, you know, I used to get nervous to go play in front of 20 people in my hometown when I was in high school. And so it's like, you know, and I think there's some people that will get nervous about, you know, there's some people that get nervous of speaking in front of a group of 5 people, much less performing in front of a couple thousand or whatever. But one thing that helped me a lot was visualization. And so like the night before a big show, I'll lay in bed, I'll close my eyes, and I'll like mentally image myself pulling up to the venue in the van or whatever, hopping out, walking into the green room. Like, I'll visualize sound check. I'll be like, I'm gonna walk out there, I'm gonna, we're gonna do this, it's gonna be like that. And then like I visualize walking onto the stage, playing the show, naked. And then everyone else is naked, not me. But
Chris is naked. He likes to visualize it fully naked. Then with clothes, it's not that bad.
That's the thing. If you can visualize it all naked, then it's a public speaking tip.
It's not picturing everyone else naked. It's picturing you naked in front of everybody else. Because then when you go up, you're like, oh, this isn't.
It's way better because I have clothes on, right?
Yeah. Sorry. Keep going.
No, I don't actually. Normally, it depends on the show. But and then visualize like all the way up to the last note.
Right.
So like I would visualize, like, for example, with Clay's set, like the walkout and that, like I would like mentally run through that a few times in my head.
Do you like airbase with like 2 fingers?
A little bit, yeah. At least I'm like thinking of like, okay, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna play, like, these are the notes I'm gonna play, and then like even to the very end of the set, like that's how I'm gonna end it.
You walk out and you just press the space bar for the Ableton tracks. This is how I'm gonna play my bass parts.
So I did that, and I did that for the first Billy Currington show we played this year, and had this visualization of like, it's gonna go exactly like this, and I walked out and my wireless pack had like turned off, and in front of 5,000 folks, I had to take my bass off and like do some stuff like that. So it doesn't always go according to plan.
So
but
you do like a simulation.
Yeah, like mentally walk through the entire thing in your head. Multiple times.
Dude, I honestly think it's kind of like when we did Brooklyn Bowl, another really cool show. Like I've been wanting to do, I think everybody from in Nashville wants to like knock out all the Nashville venues. But Brooklyn Bowl was really sick. I think we played a super tight show because we had spent the day there. And it's kind of like...
You're comfortable.
It's almost like a home game. It's like you have the advantage of like being comfy in that environment. And I think since we started there and like went back and forth on the stage, and I think we just like felt really grounded there. And because normally it's kind of chaotic. We get like an hour or two, like to load in, sound check and all that, and then you're like off it. And then you go back out and it's kind of jarring. But I think when you have like a long sound check, then it's, you're a bit grounded and you feel more comfy up there.
Yeah, you feel a little bit at home. And
you feel pretty good for the Brooklyn Bowl one?
Yeah, I felt great. That was a fun show.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, there's still moments where, whether it's like, I guess being, how many times you've played the set, that obviously helps a ton. Like, after playing it enough times, you don't have to really think about it too much. If it's like first couple of shows on a tour and you're still, like things are still kind of getting locked in, it can, that can be a little stressful just because it's like, it might even be a big crowd, but you're like, oh shit, I'm not as prepared as, or like the band isn't as tight as we could be potentially or whatever, or you just don't really know because it's like this is the first time we've played this after 1 or 2 rehearsals or whatever, like that's kind of that can be a tricky one, but yeah, the visualization makes going into it, it's just like it feels like you've done it before, and there's something about that I think that's comforting and lets you just like relax and be like, oh yeah, like I just gotta do what I gotta do, and not think about all the people out there or whatever else, and that's been super helpful.
Yeah, because typically they're not even paying attention to the bass player and the drummer anyway, so it's like there's no point in stressing, especially if you're a drummer and bass player, because nobody cares what you're doing.
I pretend to play half the time.
Yeah. So were you comfy when you went up there at the Opry?
At the Opry, no.
What about you play two songs?
Yeah.
What about by song 2?
No. I was
not even like the song 1 didn't like get you over the hump, and then you were like
hardly.
Really?
I was in like a state of shock, I think. And I honestly didn't have like my best night, I don't think, but because I think even though I had done the visualization and all that stuff, I was just so like out of it almost, because I'm just like I felt like I was dreaming in a way. Like I kind of walked off and I'm like, did that just actually happen? Like the next morning I'm like, I had the craziest dream last night, it's pretty unreal. It was fascinating, man. And I just, like that wasn't even like a goal of mine necessarily, like coming into, not because I didn't want to do it. I just like, and didn't think I'd ever, be playing it, honestly. And I didn't know enough about it to even, think that much about it. So it's, it was just, it was a pretty crazy experience. And it was cool when I found out, I called my parents to tell them, and they were with my grandmother, and she was like, they put it on speakerphone, and she was telling me stories. She's like in her late 80s now. She's telling me stories of when she was a little kid. No one had TVs or anything yet, and but the big, like, the highlight of every week was like Friday nights. They'd all sit around the radio and listen to the Grand Ole Opry. And like that gave me the chills, because I'm just like, the like significance of this is like a cultural thing. Yeah. Especially in like the country music scene and all that, it's just pretty wild too. You should do, have you ever done the Country Music Hall of Fame tour? No, not yet. Okay, so highly recommend, if you do anything in Nashville that's touristy, do the Country Music Hall of Fame, get the $10 add-on to go see RCA Studio B. Oh, yeah. It's unreal. Honestly, if you ever want to go, just let me know. I'd totally be down. I've done it a bunch, because like every time somebody comes to town, like, and they're like, oh, we'll do some Nashville. I'm like, well, we need to go to see RCA Studio B, because you get to sit at like Elvis's piano. That's cool. Yeah. It's and then you literally sit in the studio, and they play old tape recordings, and they change the color of the lights in the room as like Elvis changed the lights to like do the gospel or like do anything. And so you're sitting in the same room, listening to the same tape recordings in the same environment. It's pretty sick. That's wild. But, yeah, no, it's on my list. I haven't done a whole lot of Nashville things, I feel like. Do you think, so I've felt this, not coming from country and playing the Opry, I've almost felt, sometimes you feel like undeserving of things anyway, but do you feel like undeserving to like play the Opry compared to people that have like grown up knowing what it was as like kids? Yeah, absolutely. Like if someone were to hear that you didn't know what the Opry was 2 days before playing it, and then you play it, do you think they think you don't deserve to play? Oh, absolutely, dude. And I couldn't agree more, dude. I mean, like, you want to know what was going through my head when I walked out there? I was like, I can't keep getting away with this. Dude. How am I right here right now? That comes to my mind a lot when I'm walking out, and I'm like, how have I fooled these people enough to convince them that I am capable to be on this stage right now or whatever? It's amusing at times. So. Right. But then you know how special it is, and it just makes it even more special knowing how big of a deal it is. But that's the thing too, is like on this journey and the different gigs you play or the different rooms you play, they're all different levels to each person. So it's, the Opry could be huge for this one person, because they grew up down the street from it, and it's iconic. And you could play it, and it still means a lot to you, but nothing compared to what it means to them. Right. And then you could, like when I play the Today Show, I played with a couple people that didn't really have the background with the Today Show that I had, and so it was way more emotional for me. But it's just, I just see so many people in this industry kind of play down moments. And I guess, I know I kind of keep going back to like, everybody's different as far as like how emotional you are, or how big you make something, or how much you kind of hold it inside with your excitement. But I'm very expressive, and so I'm very outward about it. So when I don't see people doing the same thing, I just think like, how are they not like, coming out of their skin right now? It's and there might be some people that just, like, it's not that they're not excited or grateful for the opportunity, but they're just like overly poised, because they're like, that's how they lock in, and like, and I mean, I guess, it's just like, and there's probably some people that that downplay their nerves or whatever else, to kind of help, or like, and even if it's after, to just be like, like, I'm cool. Why would I have been stressed? I'm sure you get some of that too, where it's like, there's people that are kind of acting like they weren't intimidated to play a particular show, but I have a feeling that there's not many people other than at least that go up for their debut at the Opry that aren't like scared to death to walk on that stage a little bit, because it's just like, you know, it's such an intimidating place. And then once you've done it once or twice, I mean, there's, you know, like I was hanging out with T. Graham Brown backstage, is his name. And I was like, how many times have you played? He's like, this is my 482nd show. And I'm like, this is a normal night for you, man, you know? Like, there's another night at the office.
Street, like, walk in, do the check-in, and then you're like out.
Yeah, it's just clocking in and out of work for some of those guys, you know? But yeah, I think it's such a cool thing that, like, you know, that it's just it's a really cool environment, like that, like how it all works and all that, and how they do have like these people that have, I mean, some of the guys that have played, there's a group of like 80-year-old guys too that have been, I mean, they've been playing at the Grand Ole Opry for like 50 years. Were
they
something
in like
that.
suits?
Similar, yeah. I'm trying to remember who it was. Ghost Riders in the Sky or something. Like that. Yeah.
They may have been there the same night I was.
I think they're there like some of these guys are there like almost every night. You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool too. Like that, you know, you do have these people that are just like routinely there, and it's giving like guys like that too, who are, I mean, they were up there in age and stuff, and like not at an age that anyone should probably be touring or doing things like that. And I think it's a really cool thing too, that it gives an opportunity for guys like that to continue working in the music business, continue performing, and they probably live right down the street, you know, and like they don't have to, they're still able to continue making art, playing in front of new crowds every night, and they don't have to be living, you know, in hotels and all that good stuff, you know. So I think that's a cool thing about it too. But yeah, it's awesome people. Everyone there was so nice. But yeah, we had a good time, man. It was nice. My parents weren't actually on the list, but I gave one of them like a pair of boots to carry in for me. One of them with a t-shirt, or the dress shirt I was wearing that night, you know. Yeah. And like just like walk in very confidently, don't ask for permission for anything, just act like you belong there. And they were just like, oh, I was like, hey, these are my parents, they're helping me carry a few things in. The guy's like, oh, welcome, you know. And like
most of the time that'll get anybody in, really. Did you know that, like, so this past year they've been celebrating 100 years of Opry. So for those who don't know, Opry is kind of like a showcase show that has been happening for 100 years. It started off as almost just like a gathering of some hillbillies. Like that's where the name hillbilly came from. Is from
the Grand Ole Opry?
Yeah.
Really?
From like the type of people, it was just like some country folks that would all bring instruments, and it would just be like a jam. And out of 100 years, they've only missed one show. It basically would happen every Saturday. And they've only missed one show in 100 years. And it's the day that Martin Luther King got assassinated.
Damn.
Yeah. So like even when the Opry flooded, did you see the flood line while you're there?
Yeah.
So like even when that happened, they moved it to another church.
Really?
And before that, obviously, was at the Ryman.
Right.
So they've only missed one show. So either way, they take it somewhere, whether it's
that's
like
crazy.
a tent.
Yeah, right. Because it was just a radio show. Like after like it became a radio show, and then it's pretty fascinating history, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's so cool that it's been such a staple and like has been going on for 100 years. It's nuts. I thought
I would react differently to it, but I think I was so honed in since I had to be in like control of time, and we weren't doing tracks or anything.
Right.
We didn't have a click, and basically the whole band's like following me.
Yeah.
And it was like a culture shock. Like I was not in my comfy zone. You can't really move the Opry kit. You can like maybe raise the snare up and down. But like other than that, you have to play it as it is, which it's an equal playing field for everyone. That's not that big of a deal, but like the Opry band has learned the songs, and then you're playing with them, and then you can't stop tempo. Like any down moments in the songs where there's no drums, you just have to keep time. Yeah, it's a completely different situation. And so I think I was just like really just kind of like over focused that I wasn't able to. I took it in a little bit on the second song, but I wasn't able to fully take it in as I would.
Right, you're feel like locked into the beat. Yeah, I feel like if you had a 60-minute set there, 45-minute set, whatever.
Right.
At some point you'd be like, oh yeah, this is fun. Right. You know. But yeah, I think like knowing you're only going up for 2 songs, it's not enough time to get accustomed to that room to relax enough for most people to enjoy themselves. Yeah. I feel like, you know, same with any other venue. I feel like the second time that we had gone back to play KC Live, I'm like, oh yeah, like this, it feels like home now almost. Right. We've done this before. Like it's a cool place. Yeah, it's like So there's something about repetition there that, I think makes it better the second time around.
Right. You still can make it, you can still make every show super special. That's the other weird thing to me, is like getting more and more into like this scene of like how many people celebrate each show they play and how many just walk on stage like whatever, which I get, because some of it's just like a job for some people and it's just like they're clocking in and stuff. But then there's other people that like make it a massive deal, because it is a big deal, and I feel like it can be a very short ride for a lot of people. And if they don't do stuff like that, it's just like gone, It could honestly, every night could be as big as you want it to be, and you can really, obviously the crowd always helps, but like you can always make each show like as fun as you want it to be,
And then when you have, even if there's like, and there's been shows where there's, a pretty big crowd, but like they're waiting for the headliner, but then you'll have like 10 people up on the front row that know every word.
Yeah.
Way more of the lyrics than you or I probably know to half the songs, like, and they're dialed in and they're having like the best day of their life, and like when I see that, it's like, how can I not give every ounce of energy that I have
for those,
to like
for those 10 people,
putting the best thing on, like this means so much to them.
Right.
And even if I like, was not in the best mood and like tired, didn't sleep the night before, whatever, it's like seeing those people, I'm like, something about that just makes me be like, oh, like I am, no matter whatever the circumstances are, I don't care. I'm putting on the best show of my life. And like, I think that's an inspiring thing too. And then the other part of it too is like getting to just have fun with your friends. Like I find so much joy getting to look over and see you playing drums, like that just, it makes me happy. And like, I feel like half the show I'm just looking at you, we're smiling at each other. Like this is sweet. We love this. Like we're getting to do this like together. It's such a cool thing, And there's something about that too,
intimate.
that like when you're doing it with people that you've, really built a solid connection with, that you just like, you enjoy spending time with in general, but you get to, make
Special.
art with them. Yeah, it's such a cool thing. And that's a big part of it too, to me, is like, even if there wasn't a crowd there, even if it's in a rehearsal studio,
right,
but I'm with people that I love and care about, it's like, oh, this is, it's fun. It's just like, if I was getting invited to just jam at rehearsal studios with friends, I would do it anyway. It's a beautiful thing, man. And like,
it is. It's
I think there's some people that don't build that personal connection with people that they play with, they clock in and out and they're just kind of doing their thing. And it's just, that's their own style and their way of doing it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think, maybe they're missing out on some of the joys of life. Some people don't like nice, warm, sunny days, Some people like cold, rainy days, You can't, I'm not saying one way is the right way, but I think to me that's a beautiful part of it, that it's like, if you have a solid crew of people that, you enjoy.
Right. I think that all changes so much, like really good friends with the people you get to play with. It's just like all make it like so much more special, rather than just like, and having that chemistry too is really cool. It could be like a crazy big gig, but honestly, if you don't have that like connection, you don't have, the personalities and stuff don't like link up and everything. It's just not really the same. And like, it doesn't really like pop the bubble for you. Like, because you look at it as like this big dream, and you're like one thing I always thought when I would go to concerts and my body would be like just absolutely shaken by the like the speakers and everything. I'd be like, well, if it feels like this, it's got to feel insane on stage. And then you go on stage and you can't feel anything. That is something I'll think about like every single time I'm on like a massive stage and I'm like, I can't hear anything. I can't feel anything.
It's like a sterile environment up there.
I thought that if I felt it in my chest on the ground, that your body was absolutely just rocked on stage. And that kind of like popped a bubble for me when I finally like played a big stage. I was like, oh no, it's not like this, so it's, and there's things that like,
you get a vibrating drum throne. I'm surprised you don't have one already, to be honest.
No, I do. Oh, man, no, he got me.
You ever admitted that on the podcast?
Oh, now everybody knows I have a vibrating drum seat. Oh. No, it's worth it. Anyway, they make these vibrating drum seats. It's so you can feel the kick drum, and if you want to feel the bass, you can.
They got one for the bass. You put it on the strap, I think.
Yeah, it's a backbeat. Yeah.
I've never messed with
guys,
them.
Guys, anyone from Backbeat, please sponsor Chris. He needs to. I
need some backbeats.
He needs the backbeat. No, but like, what was kind of like a bubble popping moment for you, like when you actually started playing big stages? Was there something that like you always thought as a kid, and then like all of a sudden it was just absolutely not what you thought?
In a kind of like disappointing way?
Yeah, it can be disappointing.
You know, I guess like some parts of the lifestyle where, you know, as a kid you dream of, you know, you play the show and then,
you think you're rocks, like you're, and then, yeah, like there's gonna be limos for like each member,
which honestly, like, I mean, I've felt little bits of, like there was nights, you know, last summer where we would go to bars and they would give us the VIP section and free bottles of booze.
Yeah.
And they would have like private security, random, you know.
No, there's a cool
that was kind of cool, yeah. But then, you know, the reality I think is that, you know, even for really large artists is like you're often playing the show and you're not like getting to go out and check out the town after. You're hopping back in a bus or a van or a plane and you're hauling ass to the next place, you know.
Yep.
And so it's you know, I guess there was moments where I'm like, I'm gonna get to go to all these cities and like really check it out. Now you can intimately get to know about a 2-block radius around the venue, I feel like, you know?
Yeah.
But like outside of that, a lot of times you're not really going anywhere else, you know? And then you finish the show, you're packing up. If you're fortunate, you can stick around maybe to watch some of the headliner, you know?
Right.
And so I guess, you know, there was times that where I'm like, man, like I thought we'd be out partying every night.
Yeah.
Instead I'm, you know, sitting in the back of the van.
Partying every night.
Sending emails
Sitting in the back of the van, partying every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not exactly always a party. I mean, you know, we still have our moments, but but I also, you know, but at the same time, you don't need to be partying every night.
No.
And it's hard to sustain that as a career if you do. You know, some people can get away with it.
Depends like how hard the party is.
A lot of people can't.
Right.
And it can ruin, I think, a lot of people's careers. And so that's one thing I appreciate.
I didn't even call. I just said, Mike, I'm talking about Mike Toomey. You can't party every night, Mike. This is an intervention. Where actually the podcast is for nothing. It's actually just an intervention. Just
one Sprite, maybe 2 Sprites, never more than 3.
2 Sprites, Mike. No more Sprites. Mike's not even going to watch the podcast. Right? Mike.
No, I do appreciate the professionalism, though. You know, like
if you can party and be responsible.
Well, just that, like with you know, like in particular with Clay's camp. I mean, it's you know, we don't really have anyone that's too crazy. I'd say I'm probably the wild.
I don't know. Everyone's like losing money in sport gambling.
Well, gambling's one thing. You know, gambling you can at least perform the next day. You know,
we didn't even talk about gambling on his episode.
You don't generally get lost or locked up too easily if you're just gambling. But yeah, it's a cool. It's cool having people that are responsible. That are taking it professionally, and that you're not having to like worry about. You know, like is that person gonna show back up for bus call?
Right.
You know, are they gonna wake up in time? Are they gonna be able to function at the next show tomorrow? That's, you know, that can be the downside of trying to party while you're doing this as a career, which, I mean, it's an interesting job. I mean, like, I love the fact that, you know, as a working musician, you can generally, with, you know, at least with most camps, drink on the job to some extent, you know, some more than others, some not at all.
Mike.
You know, you don't want to get into trouble at home either, and then you try to go to another country, and then, you know, that can cause some issues. That's why you didn't join us in Canada, I think.
What?
What?
What? What do you mean Canada?
That's what I heard. You couldn't make the Canada shows because some background.
No.
No.
Did they say that?
No, I made it up. But I just figured, I'm like, he's probably got a bunch of shit on his record.
No, I was playing a gig. I wanted to play that. I was playing another gig.
I was like, he's probably got a couple charges he's
No,
never told
dude,
us
I wanted. That was in Ontario, right? I wanted to go to Canada.
Yeah, I figured you weren't allowed.
I could have dual citizenship. My dad's from Canada. I would be like the most qualified person to go to Canada.
Yeah, you kind of get Canadian vibes from it. You would have liked it, man. It was nice.
Get Canadian vibes from me.
They're good people, yeah.
Yeah, good people.
You been to Tim Hortons yet?
Not here.
Yeah, it's nice.
We didn't make a smooth transition at all from the boat to the print shop, so I'm here informing you that if you're listening to the podcast, we're switching over to his print shop now. So, hey, welcome back. We're at Percy Printing.
Welcome to Percy Printing.
Welcome to Percy Printing. Here we'll
take a little shop tour.
Walk around. All right. Here's some hat samples.
Got our,
I think we talked about it earlier, but you do printing.
You do
here, customizing.
Yeah. So we can do
nice
custom screen printing, custom embroidery, heat transfers, just about anything you can think of.
Sick.
And yeah, we got all we do water-based inks in here too. It's
nice.
A very nice soft feel to them.
Yeah. Breathable.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
Yeah, pretty much anything you can think of. We have a 6-color manual press here, so we can do up to 6 colors very easily. Got a lot of screens, and then we've got this is our chief dog officer, Dash. He's
CDO.
He makes everything happen in here.
CDO.
Yeah. He's always in here working hard.
Nice.
Got some embroidery stuff over here.
Nice.
And then nice little office space here in the corner and a bunch of inventory. And
but this is the best time to do printing around this time of year.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, and especially once we get we've got a bunch of heat coming from these machines here. So that's a big tunnel dryer right there that
very nice.
Gets up to like 800 degrees. So it's pretty nice here in the winter time.
Sick.
Keeps it nice and comfortable.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a little hot in here in the summer. So
sick. And we're gonna knock out some hats eventually.
Yeah, buy some Headsick hats.
Got some cool stuff coming. So that'll be dope. Yeah. And where can everybody find you?
PercyPrinting.com, at Percy Printing on Instagram.
Sick.
And we're happy to take on whatever. So we love trying new things out, and anything you can think of, we can make it happen. Man. Yeah, we're excited to be working with Headsick.
Dude, this is cool, man. I'm really stoked for all this, and I think you've done something really cool. And it's been awesome to kind of get to know you and learn about your journey through Nashville. And
absolutely,
it's awesome, man.
It's been a good time.
It's been great.
Happy to be here, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching episode 2 of the Headsick Podcast. Next episode we have will be with Rye Jackson, who plays for Ella Langley. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really sick. We go to the zoo and we have a freaking blast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Cheers. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and don't forget, you belong. Peace.